Welcome everyone! In this video, we are going to be diving into my top 3 best teams for the Hisuian Cup. It turns out the early speculation on what the Mystery Cup would be was true. There was a lot of speculation that it was the Hisuian Cup, and that was verified not too long ago by Niantic. And it should be fun if the meta is looking familiar to you, those of you who have had an early look at the rankings. If it looks a little familiar, it's just because it is basically the Sinnoh Cup with a few of the new Hisuian Pokemon sprinkled in. So not a whole lot has changed in terms of the meta for the Hisuian Cup. Should be a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun in the Sinnoh Cup. There are some new additions in the form of, I would say, Hisuian Quillfish and its new evolution of Overquill, as well as a new Sneasel and Sneasler. Those are all some new fun additions to Pokemon Go Battle League. And to get you guys ready, get the juices flowing in terms of what teams may perform best, we are going to have a look at my top 3 teams for this cup. And like I said, should be a lot of fun. And without further ado, let's dive into team number 1. All right, guys, here we go. Team number 1 for the Hisuian Cup. And it is a very powerful team, and it leads with Bastiodon on the lead, Cresselia as your safe swap, and Toxicroak in the back to close the game strong. This is quite the powerful team. And if you don't have Cresselia, I know that one can be a bit tough for a lot of us who weren't around back when Cresselia was available in the research tasks. There are some options that you can use. You can use Frostlass. That would be the best replacement for Cresselia. So let's have a look at these at the scorecard here and look at that, guys. Holy smokes, I wasn't kidding when I said that this team was quite strong for the Hisuian Cup. You get an A for coverage, A for bulk, you get a C for safety, and an A for consistency. You don't get much better than that, guys. Let's have a look at these matchups here. So Bastiodon's going to be quite powerful on the lead, guys. You just really have to look out for those fighters, of course, on the lead. And Empoleon could also cause some problems for Bastiodon. This is why we've got Cresselia and Toxicroak in the back to protect Bastiodon from the fighters, and Empoleon. Those are really the only major obstacles that you're going to have on the lead with Bastiodon. So if you're met with a fighter, you're going to safe swap into Cresselia. If it's Lucario, it could be a bit tricky, but the saving grace there is that Lucario is about as squishy as a Pokemon gets, as it does beat Cresselia in the 1 shield. But if you're safe swapping on a Lucario lead, that's going to be the 2 shield, and Cresselia does a lot better there. Empoleon, you have a clean victory over Empoleon with both Cresselia and Toxicroak. And just about everything else in between, Bastiodon's going to be doing pretty well against on the lead. Of course, you want to draw out any of the ghost types, as the 2 ghost types in this meta are weak to Bastiodon, as they come in the form of Frostlass and Driftblim. Both take super effective damage from those smackdowns from Bastiodon. If you can draw out the ghost type with Cresselia, you're going to set Toxicroak up for a very nice sweep in the endgame, preferably with a shield advantage. So, team number 1 is looking to be quite powerful. Bastiodon will also have some problems with the ground types like Gastrodon. That's going to be the biggest core breaker for this team. You want to try and yeah, you're going to have to get out of there immediately with Bastiodon into Cresselia and hope that you can flip switch advantage. It's going to take a team effort to take down Gastrodon if you do encounter it on the lead. But you want to try and flip switch with Cresselia. If you have to go down on shields, by all means do that. because you really want to get the Gastrodon within a manageable health range. That way Toxicroak and Bastiodon can double team it. So that's the major core breaker. But other than those obstacles that I mentioned, Gastrodon, Lucario, and Empoleon, if you can handle those, this team is going to be performing quite well in the Hisuian Cup. So that is team number 1. Bastiodon on the lead, Cresselia on the safe swap, and Toxicroak in the back to close the game strong. And with all that said, that is team number 1. Let's have a look at team number 2. All right, guys, here we go. Team number 2, yet another powerful team for the Hisuian Cup, and it leads with Frostlass on the lead. Empoleon is your safe swap, and Bastiodon in the back to close the game strong. This is a team that I ran during the Sinnoh Cup, but instead of Frostlass, I had Driftblim on the lead. I swapped out Driftblim for Frostlass because Frostlass is so dynamic. It hits so hard. It is so powerful. Frostlass on the lead is going to be doing extremely well. You just really want to watch out for those very strong steel types. And for that reason, we've got 2 of our own very powerful steel types in the back to support Frostlass. Very powerful ABB style team for the Hisuian Cup. Let's have a look at these the scorecard here. And look at that. Not bad at all. I'm sure that D for safety is jumping out off the screen to you guys. I would not worry about the safety score too much, as it is quite difficult to get a solid safety score in this meta. Nothing seems to be safe, according to PvPoke, so I would not give that much weight. What matters most, in my humble opinion, in terms of team building on PvPoke is your coverage score and your consistency score, followed by the bulk score, and then safety. I would rate that at last in terms of evaluating a team. So with all that said, we get A's all across the board for all of the important metrics that matter when it comes to team building. You get an A for coverage, A for bulk, and an A for consistency. So that is an amazing scorecard for team number 2. Let's have a look at these matchups here. Like I said, guys, Frostlass on the lead is going to be quite powerful. You just really have to watch out for those strong steel types like Bastiodon and Empoleon, and the occasional Magnezone that you may run into. Wormadam Trash can be a problem as well. That is eligible as well. So like I said, all the steel types, you're going into Empoleon on the safe swap. You can flip switch advantage if at all possible. Some Pokemon that you'll really want to flip switch on if you can is an opposing Empoleon, if at all possible. Because Empoleon does cause some problems for both Bastiodon and Frostlass. But if you can't quite flip switch, if you can get it low, that would work as well, as Empoleon is quite squishy at the Great League format. That is the 1500 CP. But everything else, Frostlass is going to absolutely dominate on the lead, guys. You pick up a lot of solid wins with Frostlass. Empoleon does prove to be a solid safe swap because those waterfalls with stab absolutely chunk, guys. And of course, the Community Day charge move of Hydro Cannon just hits everything super hard. You're bound to grab some shields with Empoleon on the safe swap. And then once you can clear the way for Bastiodon, Bastiodon does prove to be a very solid closer, as with its immense bulk, it performs extremely well when shields are down. So that is team number 2. The major concerns with Frostlass on the lead, like I said, are going to be those steel types. So Empoleon on the safe swap can handle just about all the steel types with the exception of Magnezone. Much like Lucario, Magnezone is not known for its bulk, so it does take a team effort to take it out all across the board. But I don't see Magnezone being run too much. We did see a little bit of it during the Sinnoh Cup, the last go around, but it is quite squishy. It does need shields to perform at its best. But like I said, everything else, the dark poisons, Frostlass doesn't really want to see. Like Drapion, Skuntank. Drapion's really the major dark poison that Frostlass has some troubles with in the 2 shield, as it does outpace, and it does have some decent bulk. But the steel types do resist that fast move pressure and can handle the dark poisons like Drapion. But other than that, it's pretty straightforward. You're going to be doing very well with team number 2 if you choose to run it. Very solid scorecard, and that is Frostlass on the lead, Empoleon on the safe swap, and Bastiodon in the back to close the game strong. So that is team number 2, and with all that said, guys, let's have a look at team number 3. All right, guys, here we go. Last but not least, team number 3. Another pretty solid team for the Hisui Cup, and it leads with Gastrodon on the lead, Drapion as your safe swap, and Frostlass in the back to close the game strong. Drapion, always a solid safe swap option, as its only weakness is ground type damage. And on Drapion, I would highly recommend running Aqua Tail in this meta. That is the optimal coverage move that you'll want to have, as there are very few fairies to be concerned about in this meta. And Aqua Tail can really hit most things for neutral damage. And of course, you're going to be hitting those steel type, or excuse me, ground and rock types like Bastiodon for super effective damage. So definitely go with Aqua Tail in this meta. I don't always recommend Aqua Tail on Drapion, but for this meta, it is definitely necessary. So let's have a look at the scorecard for team number 3. And there we go. Not bad, guys. Decent scorecard for team number 3. Like I said, coverage is your most important metric, and we get an A for coverage. We do get a C for bulk, as any team with Frostlass on it will be lacking a little bit in the bulk department, but that is okay. You get a C for safety and a B for consistency. Pretty solid scorecard for team number 3. So let's have a look at these matchups. Gastrodon on the lead is going to be quite powerful, guys, as a lot of people are going to be leading with those fighters like Lucario and Toxicroak. Both lose to Gastrodon. They are taking super effective damage from those mud slaps. If you run into a Bastiodon on the lead, you can grin from ear to ear because Gastrodon absolutely dominates Bastiodon. You just really have to watch out for those grass types or grass type damage. So for that reason, we've got 2 Pokemon in the back that can absolutely handle the grass types. Drapion, being a poison type, can handle the grass types with the fast move pressure of Poison Sting, and it can really hit hard with those crunches, along with the 30% chance to drop that defense. Drapion's always a fun and solid safe swap. And of course, Frostlass can really deal heavy super effective damage with those powder snows and the threat of those hard-hitting avalanches on the grass types. So pretty balanced team. The goal with this team is to set up Frostlass to sweep the end game, preferably with a shield advantage. So with Drapion on the safe swap, you are likely going to draw out a fighter if they have it in the back, like Lucario or Toxicroak. Those are the only 2 fighters, I believe. With the addition, correction, we've got a couple of new fighters from the Hisui region in the form of Hisuian Sneasel and its evolution Sneasler, if you can get it within the CP limit. I'm not sure if you can, if you trade it. If you trade it, guys, let me know in the comments. If you can trade a Hisuian Sneasel, can you get a Sneasler that would qualify? I'm not sure that you can. But if you can, those are also a couple of new additions to this meta that come in the form of fighting types. But it doesn't matter because Gastrodon also dominates those 2 as well, because they are also part poison. So like I was saying before I got off on that little tangent there, the goal of Drapion is to draw out something like a Lucario or any other type of fighter. You may also draw out an Empoleon. That's what you want to do. You want to get those out of the way. More so Empoleon if it's lurking in the back, because Frostlass does struggle against Empoleon. That way Gastrodon can come back in, take it out, and set Frostlass up for a nice endgame sweep, preferably with a shield advantage. That is how this team is designed. Anything else on the lead, Gastrodon is just going to melt it away with those Mud Slaps, and it does have access to Body Slam, which is always nice. It provides excellent coverage. If you're met with a Ghost type on the lead as well, that's also why we have Drapion in the back. To protect it from those Ghost types, because both Ghost types in this meta do beat Gastrodon. So pretty well balanced team. Should have a lot of success with this one. Decent scorecard for it, and should have a lot of fun with it overall. I always love running Gastrodon in this meta, as it has a lot of nice coverage. It is so satisfying melting away those rock and poison types with those Mud Slaps. There is nothing better. So that is team number 3. Gastrodon on the lead, Drapion on the safe swap, and Frostlass to close the game strong, preferably with a shield advantage. And that about wraps it up, guys, for my top 3 best teams for the Hisuian Cup. Like I said, should be a lot of fun. We've got some new additions into the meta. It doesn't change things all that much, but it's always fun to have some new Pokemon to run in a established meta. So, I had a blast, guys. I hope you all enjoyed. As always, I thank you for watching, and keep up the grind. Thank you, guys.